And you're watching
MadhouseTV.com.
Hi, I'm Janine Zerilli, and you're watching MadhouseTV.com.
Hi, I'm Tom Ely, and you're watching MadhouseTV.com.
Hey, I'm Tommy Marr, and you're watching MadhouseTV.com.
Stay tuned for the Long Island Filmmaker Show, starring Jerry Parisi, right here on MadhouseTV.com.
Like you don't wanna listen when I'm talking to you. You think you ought to do, baby, anything you wanna do. You gotta be crazy, baby. Just gotta be.
Hi, I'm Jerry Parisi, and welcome to this week's edition of the Long Island Filmmakers Show. With me today, I have some really important guests, and one of them I happen to know for a lot of his awards and winning, and some of the movies that I've watched him do. Very, very impressive in my book. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Andrew Henriques, filmmaker and award winner, and one of his actresses from the new movie, and that would be Michelle Eve Nadler. How are you? Welcome to the show, guys.
Oh, thanks for having us.
You're welcome. So I got to tell you, you've got a brand new movie coming out.
Yes.
And it's exciting, and with you, Michelle, it looks like, you know, somebody's in for trouble.
Yeah.
I'm looking at these posters, and so far I've seen a knife, blood, somebody on the floor, and I keep saying to myself, well, that's hooking up, okay. That would be one nightmare date in my book.
Well, it's a musical thriller.
Okay.
And, you know, the thriller part, of course, is that, you know, some people are going to die in it. But it's more like, you know, it's not all music, it's not all singing, it's about 50-50. It's kind of like Sweeney Todd, where it's half singing, half talking for the dialogue.
So you kind of go on a date, I'm going to kill you tonight, and you stab him or something?
Not quite. Close, but not quite. It's based off of the Craigslist Killer.
Oh.
It's actually based off of a true story. Just, you know, some things have been changed. I decided to take that and turn it into a musical because that sounds about up my alley.
I have never seen a musical death type of movie before.
And that's why I'm doing it. Yeah.
So it stands out.
Michelle, how did you get hooked up with this?
Well,
Using the right words, hooked up.
yeah, exactly. That makes sense. That fits.
How did you get hooked up?
Andrew and I had met years ago. It was like about 4 years ago at a nightclub over in Carl Place, Sugar. It used to be called Sugar.
Okay.
I don't know where it is now.
Yeah.
But we were at a fashion show for a mutual friend, Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie. Yeah, we went to go see Jamie, and
Yeah.
I saw her, and I walked up and started talking.
He had approached me and said that he had noticed that I had won an award for a previous TV pilot that I did. And we kind of after that, we didn't speak for, what was it, like 2 or 3 years after that?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
Because you noticed she was carrying a knife.
Yeah, exactly.
Away from her.
Be aware, be very aware. No, I'm sweet as pie once you get to know me. But after that, I had seen another film of it, 10 Questions, I had seen. And I saw, you know, all the work that he did, and I was very impressed. And I wanted to make a little silly music video of my own with my cats and my niece, because, you know, that's like, you know, a hit on everything.
Yeah.
So we got together on that, and
Yeah, it was her project. She choreographed it. She basically directed. I just shot it for
he
her.
shot it.
It was like for a YouTube video. It was
Yeah.
like a dancing cat with her niece, right?
Yeah. it's
Adorable
good.
little girl
Yeah.
that didn't want to do it.
And he asked me if I could sing. I said I could hold a note, and I auditioned, and the rest is history. So here I am.
So we'll come to 10 Questions in a minute, because this new movie is exciting.
Yeah.
You play, I take it, the lead.
I have the lead.
Okay. And you basically are... Tell me about that character.
Well, like you said, it's loosely based around the Craigslist killer, and
Which not many people know in the audience.
not many people know, and
Okay.
I guess not many people out of I think Long Island know about the
Well,
Craigslist killer.
it's loosely based off of the Craigslist killer. I mean, the concept of it is based off of the Craigslist killer. But we changed it from Craigslist to an app. So it's a dating app instead of Craigslist in our film.
Oh, okay.
You know,
That's
so
different.
and the dating app is called the Hookup.
I see.
You
I
know,
see.
that way, you know, that people knew where everybody is, and you know, instead of just on Craigslist, it'd be kind of hard to get stalked on Craigslist by somebody else.
And tell me, is this a feature length or a short?
No,
What do you
it's
have?
a long short. There's going to be about 6 songs in it, and I'm releasing it as an album on iTunes.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, and that'll come out before the film is done. And we're working on the music now. But it's going to be about 30, 35 minutes long. So it's a long format short.
And where are the locations you guys are working with?
The New York City is probably, you know, a major location in the film. I've been buying gear so that I can shoot in the city guerrilla style and not be bothered by the police too much.
The reality is the police in New York City bother nobody. The New York City police don't. I was in court red-handed. This is a funny story. I starred in that episode of it. God forbid I ever see it. And the reality is, everybody sees it but me. But when we were done and I was a thief, they took me outside of the thing, and there's this police car sitting there, and it happened to say movie unit, which I'm under the impression was already a setup. Well, didn't work quite that way. But guy couldn't care less. He's like, what are you doing? Making a movie. All right, good. And that was it. They went back to what they had to do on their show. But
Well, I've had bad luck in the past filming in the city.
really?
And yeah, when I filmed in Penn Station for one of my films, I got surrounded by the military.
Oh, that's a different story. You're in Penn Station.
Penn Station, yeah. But I was by myself with just a video camera filming, and they were watching me from the second I walked in.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they're always watching me.
That's pretty sad.
Black Ops. Black Ops.
It really is sad because you know what? So many people just innocently want to just go and shoot sites and do little things like that. But you know what? You've got your credentials and you.
Yeah, I mean, after they threatened me with the machine guns.
And there's
they
nothing
let me
wrong with
know.
that.
No, absolutely not. You know?
It's normal.
I told 'em I was
nowadays,
filming
The
right?
city of New York, yeah.
I told them I was
Police
filming, and then
state.
they left me alone.
And they left you alone. They didn't.
Yeah.
That was good.
They didn't detain me; just scared the hell out of me.
We had a similar situation. I was in the movie The Hidden, and it'll come out somewhere in 2015. And we had shot in Suffolk County, and strangely enough, the crew didn't have the proper permits, but we did have guns shooting blanks, and we're supposed to be in, wow, boom, boom. Now we're in the middle of nowhere.
That's a different story now.
And it was a different story when 6 police cars
Yeah,
came down. They didn't
yeah.
have their lights on, but they were following each other right down the street. And the first thing they did was they held up a slate, you know, letting them know it's a movie. So, all right, they
They
saw
probably
it.
mistook it for a gun and pulled theirs out.
Not only did they, yeah, they did. They actually did draw their guns.
Of course they did.
The amazing part is that one of the camera operators wore an SLR.
Oh boy, that's a
and-
gun.
Wait, the best part is he had it on. They didn't realize it. And he's holding his hands up with the other camera. So this is going.
Yeah.
He's got a whole section of it.
Oh, that's good for behind the scenes.
That's great for behind the scenes, you
What
know?
is this permit thing that you're talking about?
He needs one.
I got to be honest, in a few shows from now, sometime in October, we have Alan Schwartz coming on. He is a criminal lawyer. And his job that night is to talk about what happens if guys like you or me or somebody else go out there with cameras and say, I'm going to shoot myself a movie, and I really don't want to pay those permits.
No.
You know, and can you really get in trouble? Can they really do something for you? It depends. We're going to hear from
valid.
the mouth of a criminal lawyer, and we'll see what he has to say. I look forward
Well,
to that.
I do plan to shoot on some street corners, and I have lights with batteries. So
Yeah,
that'd
that
be
might make you a
interesting.
criminal.
That might, you know, set up 3-point lighting on the corner of New York City might actually draw some kind of attention.
You know what? It's
But I'm
getting
going
harder
for
and
it.
harder for them to stop it, though,
Yeah.
because everybody's picking up equipment. Everybody's got something going on,
Mm.
and now the biggest area is Vimeo and YouTube to place it on. That's
Oh,
like
absolutely.
your distributorship there, so they want to do it. And tell me, how about you? You've done your past work in movies. Have you ever shot guerrilla style, or how do you do it?
For the TV pilot I did, we shot on Long Island. That's really the only thing that I did.
Are you SAG?
What's that?
Screen Actors Guild?
What? No, no.
Okay. Okay.
I
so-
thought you asked me if I was sad. If I heard you,
No,
I was
no, no.
sad.
A little
I
sad.
know it's sad.
I'm sad.
I'm a little sad.
No, Screen Actors Guild, no,
Okay. Yeah. All right.
not yet.
Yeah, it's a tough union. Trust me, I know. But that you have to register everything with, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're going to have a special inside the Screen Actors Guild. I'm working on it right now, where I wanted to really, really expose the myths of what and where and how and why they work. But that's a little.
Well, I think a lot of actors join SAG too early.
Yeah.
They don't have a reel. They haven't done anything. You know, they got their SAG card via background
Is
and
it
like,
for
you know.
for Screen Actors Guild if you can't audition for certain like feature length films if you're in Screen
Yeah,
Actors
yeah. You
Guild?
need to be in SAG.
You
Yeah,
have
you
to be
have to-
SAG.
You have to be
because
SAG.
There's a reason. It's not just the union, but when a producer puts out all this money, he wants to know the rate of return, rate of investment.
Absolutely.
So when they say, well, we got to bring somebody who's going to bring in to watch it either on TV or in a movie, so they're going to bring somebody in, one named character, 2 or 3, which then surround the people with them.
Well,
That's how they see
I
it.
think the big misconception with SAG and actors is they think as soon as they get the SAG card, they're going to be auditioning for Spider-Man. You know? They're going to be going in for these lead roles and like, oh, I'm SAG now, and I'm just like, well, no, it's not the case. You'll
No,
still,
not at all.
you'll be still working
Still a
background. You're
small
just getting
fish.
paid.
You know what? It's a spin of a wheel, just like at a bazaar.
Yeah, exactly.
Your name comes up, you're lucky enough to get something. But then again, you know, if you have the proper publicity about yourself,
Absolutely.
you have a vehicle to show yourself. You also put yourself out in the publicity world on newspapers and things like that.
Well, that's exact-
That's
yeah.
all important.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And that's how people get to know your name. And sooner or later, gee, I saw Andrew's work, and he's really good. Can we afford something like that? And then they get in touch with you, and suddenly the ball starts rolling. And that's
Absolutely.
really what happens, you know? But then there's also the knocking on the doors, and I'm sure you've been through all of that, especially an actress like you, knocking on the doors, seeing who's available, who can see me. When the real way of doing it, if you asked me, is simple. Get into things, do them, and then knock on doors with free tickets. And say,
Exactly.
"Here you go, come watch me in a play."
Yeah, exactly.
That's-
Come see me in the film festival.
And speaking of film festivals, now we get to one of my favorite movies you made, 10 Questions. How's
Yeah.
it doing so far?
It's doing pretty good on Amazon. It's available for streaming on DVD. It's a vampire film. It's a horror drama, and it's doing well.
I was impressed. I saw it at the film festival. I happened to notice that you won an award for that.
No, actually, I won the award for Mirror Image in 2000. I won the Finishing Fund grant for Mirror Image.
Andrew, you won awards.
Yeah,
You won awards. How many people can walk around and say they won awards for their movies?
not many, no.
Well, there you go. So you won whatever you won for that, the
Yeah.
finishing grant, and you have an incredible, great cast in it. And of course, Peter, being a very good friend of mine, he was actually on the show.
Yeah, Peter Quinones. Yeah, he's in Hooking Up. He's
Yeah.
playing a detective in Hooking
Yeah,
Up.
I'm wondering why I didn't get asked into this movie. But, all right. But anyhow, Peter plays a very good role in that, and you got him tied up, and then you have Christine Wood coming out as a vampire who played that role incredibly. I was impressed. I think that, especially the questions that night, if you remember back, there were so many people in the audience that had more questions for Christine than anybody else, and that was pretty impressive. She was really out there. She
Well,
was
I don't
great.
know if Peter told you, though. He wasn't acting when he was screaming. He's claustrophobic, and when I put the plastic bag over his head, he was actually terrified. But I kept rolling, and I was like, this is great stuff. And he's just like, Andrew, I'm really claustrophobic. I'm just like,
great.
don't worry about that. Just give me the realism of your screams right now.
That's great. We'll be right back. We got a commercial coming up, and then I guess we get a clip or two, and we'll take it from there. We'll be right back.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
And we are back, and we are here today with Andrew Henriquez, award-winning filmmaker, and the lovely, talented, absolutely amazing actress in his new movie, Michelle Eve Naylor, who only friended me on Facebook today, by the way. I don't know how that worked. So let's get back to this movie with Hooking Up, because that's interesting. We got some pictures I think we can show up, and maybe if they could bring some up, you'd maybe explain some of that to everybody?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Actually, that's 10 questions. Yeah. That's fine, though. 10 questions.
Let's talk about that. We can
10
talk about
questions
both.
is my film that I did, the one before Hooking Up right now. That's the one that's available on Amazon, streaming and DVD. And the DVD has about 50 minutes of behind-the-scenes stuff that's really interesting, like bloopers and outtakes.
That must be funny.
And so forth. Yeah, it is. It's pretty hysterical.
It's hysterical, yeah.
That's great.
It's
That's
pretty
great.
funny. Torturing Peter was a lot of fun.
I don't think I'd want a plastic bag over my head either, in all honesty.
And as you can see, he's screaming under the plastic bag.
Sure, sure. And this?
Yeah, this is a new film. This is Hooking Up, and that's Michelle laying down on the floor with a knife and a gun, and somebody just taking a nap, it looks like.
I don't
Taking
know.
a bloody nap.
Taking a bloody nap.
Yeah.
If you had a British accent.
Yeah, exactly.
Took a bloody nap, he did.
yes.
Did he? That-
Yeah, like I said, it's a musical thriller.
yeah. So a musical thriller, and let's talk about the music for a minute.
Okay.
So you wrote the music, or
Yes.
did you write the music, or did you help
He wrote
write
the music.
I wrote
Do you
the
sing
music.
the music?
Yes.
I sing the music.
She's a singer. I wrote and composed the music and the lyrics.
Okay, so you did all of that. And
Yeah.
what instruments do you play?
I play guitar, piano, percussion, bass.
You're not too talented, are you?
No, not at all. No, not at all.
So, all right, so you put this all together, and give me an idea. This is too interesting for the audience. We got to hear a little more about it.
Well, I don't want to give away too much
No,
because
don't give it away,
there's a lot of plot twists in the film, but basically it's about a person that is, Michelle's character is sick of love, and she's angry at love in general. She basically hates love.
She hates love.
She hates love.
You wouldn't like me. You'd hate me.
Are you a hopeless romantic?
I am, actually. I am.
In real life, I am too, so.
Aw, very sweet.
Yeah, it's not her character, but yeah, it's about a character that's just sick of it and is fed up, and on
Right.
both sides. It's
Right,
like
right,
she
right.
thinks everybody's being fake, and it's like not real, and it's all just an illusion.
Oh.
So that's the driving force of the film. And it's
Okay, yeah, without going into too much.
Right.
And let me ask you this. What is your murder weapon of choice?
A machete.
Oh,
We haven't gotten to that yet. Hopefully next photo shoot we'll be able to incorporate that.
okay. So I take
during the
it,
photo she's like, put the knife
Yes.
down, Michelle.
she's got a real machete.
Yes.
Put the knife down,
Big
Michelle.
real machete. Okay.
Machete with a Jason mask on. So
Yeah.
Okay, so where'd you get that? In the Army surplus store or something?
No, it's a real knife.
It's a real knife.
It's a real knife,
machete.
yeah.
And she
In the
go-
film, it'll be a fake knife.
Now
but,
let me
for
ask
the
you
photo
just
shoots.
based on that picture for the moment, for the poster,
Mm-hmm.
it seemed like there was a man laying down and his 2 feet, his legs were up,
Yeah.
and there was the blood. Now, it didn't look like it came out of his brain. I shudder to think it didn't come out of his brain. So I get this impression that something else was cut off.
Well, it's actually Kool-Aid, and he's taking a nap. He just
What is this, the children's version of this show? No, it's not Kool-Aid.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's dead.
He's dead.
And he died a very torturous death.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm sad to find this out.
Pretty much.
And so I'm getting the impression that you go from man to man with this machete, or you have other...
No, that's not
No, that's
necessary.
it.
No. The poster is actually kind of misleading.
I see the post is misleading.
Yeah, purposely misleading.
As
yeah.
opposed to 10 questions, we knew someone was really going to get it.
Well, 10 questions I thought was misleading as well. I mean, I thought there was a nice little twist at the end. It didn't follow the normal path.
Yeah.
So that's a nice little surprise if you do pick it up on streaming or on DVD.
I have to recommend the audience pick up on Amazon.com 10 questions. I thoroughly liked it. I looked
thank
at
you.
it. In fact, you know me, I'm looking like, okay, how did he do the typography on that? It's 40 years of advertising. And how did he do that? Well, that's not bad. All right, that worked. That worked too. All right. I like you now.
Well, thank you, Jerry.
Yeah, I like you more if you worked on a Mac. I think you work on a PC.
Yeah, I work on a PC. I hate Macs.
You know, I don't like you that much anymore.
Well, everything that comes out new for video
Yeah.
comes out on PC.
Sure.
You
You're
know.
working on that one.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm stuck to my Mac, you know.
Yeah, I don't want to wait a year for it to come out on, on a Mac. Any kind of upgrades like video cards and stuff like that,
Sure.
it always comes out for a PC first. Then I have to stay on cutting edge,
And did you do some of the shooting in your studio that I had visited that time?
I shot all the green screen, the special effects stuff in my studio. And like when I do photographs and
Right.
and things like all the photographs I take of Michelle is in my studio. Like any promo shots I do in my studio, visual effects, any green screen stuff. But we did do the actual filming at on a location at a karate school.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, so that we can look forward to some action in the karate school.
No, that was for 10 questions.
Oh, I
no.
apologize.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Go
The,
ahead.
the new film is going to have multiple locations, none of which are going to be in my studio now.
I'll say really going to want to look.
Yeah. Actually, no, that's not true. There is a green screen shot that I'm probably going to have to shoot in my studio.
Okay, the audience is going to hold you to that. You realize you're
Yeah.
lying. If you don't use one green shot, that's it. You know?
Well, you're not. Hopefully, you're not going to know there's a green screen
Hopefully
shot.
not. Yeah, that's good. And so how do you feel about this whole thing? You got this great starring role. You know it's going to be in the film festivals, without a doubt, because Andrew's work makes it all the way through everybody else's. There's a way to cut through the clutter, as we call it in the advertising world. He tends to cut right through the clutter and go right
Yeah.
into the stage there.
Yes.
So how do you feel about all of that? It's going to really put you out there.
I'm really excited. I'm ready for the exposure. I'm ready for everything. I told him at the very beginning I was going to give him 110%. So
Oh, I thought you were going to
And
say
she
give you
has.
$110.
And she has. She's been great.
Yeah, you look like some of the photos I've seen. That's the great thing about Facebook, boy. I can steal any photo, and put it anywhere.
we know some
you
people
know?
like that.
Yeah.
Pop it right on my banner.
You wouldn't be the first one.
No.
So we got a few moments left.
Yeah.
And first of all, I want to thank you, Andrew, very much for taking your time out of what seems to be always a very busy day.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And, you know, these 18-hour days now,
Yeah.
I mean, 16 used to be the norm, but now it's 18.
Yeah.
And believe me, I put them in myself, and I want to thank you also for coming out.
Thanks for
and-
having me.
No, a pleasure meeting you, Michelle, and of course, Andrew. Incredible work you keep churning out. Really,
Thank you.
really.
Thank you.
Some of the stuff you've always done has always been great, you know, and I look forward to this new movie and seeing how this one comes out. So, again, if we were going to buy 10 questions, why don't you just tell the audience one more time how they can go about getting them?
Just go to Amazon and type in 10 questions. Spell it out, T-E-N, questions.
10, yeah, that's
Yeah.
important. TEN questions on Amazon.com and purchase this man's movie because I will tell you this. You will enjoy it. Without going any further, you will enjoy it. The acting is great. The sets are exciting. The artwork is incredible, and it's got some great scenes to it. That's for sure.
Thanks.
All right. So it's just about coming to a close on this now. And next week's guests, Jake Sullivan. He's a singer-songwriter. He'll be here with us. Natalie Boyle will be here. And you know Natalie. She also introduces our show a lot of times. So you'll see her. She'll be doing some Irish step dancing for everybody. Till then, I'm Jerry Parisi, Andrew Henriquez, Michelle Eve Nadler, and this was the Filmmaker Show, the Long Island Filmmaker Show. Take care, everyone. Have a great week.
You act like you don't wanna listen when I'm talking to you. You think you ought to do, baby, anything you wanna do. You gotta be crazy, baby. Just gotta be.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidisciplinary practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our two offices. Thank you.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. For
You're watching MadhouseTV.com.
Oh no, much bigger.
You're watching MadhouseTV.com.
Bigger, bigger.
You're watching MadhouseTV.com.
Scream it out.
You're watching MadhouseTV.com. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Greg Pacino, executive producer and creator of Long Island Filmmakers TV show, hosted by Jerry Parisi. You're watching it on MadhouseTV.com.
Like you don't wanna listen when I'm talking to you. You think you ought to do, baby, anything you wanna do. You gotta be crazy, baby. Just gotta be.
Hi, I'm Jerry Parisi, and welcome to this week's edition of the Long Island Filmmakers Show. Last week's guests were phenomenal. Andrew Henriquez and Michelle Eve Nadler. What great people on it. And tonight we have two more great people. We have our very own Natalie Boyle, who you've seen her do some of the bumpers that are on this station, and a personal friend of mine, Mr. Jake Russell, who is a music composer, singer, songwriter, and all-around great guy. His family is a good friend of ours. And I want to welcome you both to our show.
Thanks for
How are
having
you
us.
guys?
Thanks,
Doing
Jerry.
well. We're doing well.
Great to be here.
So, Jake, let's start in with you. We have a little musical clip from one of your pieces, and I can't hear it now, but I assume that it'll go on in a few moments.
Eventually.
And when it goes on, I want to ask you some questions about this song, because you're kind enough to loan that particular song to us, and we've been using it now as our after bumpers and some of the interludes that go on, which is why you actually have a title on there.
Yeah.
You know? So where did you get the inspiration for all of that?
For the song itself, the song was something that I kicked around for probably a year. I had that in my head, but I couldn't sit it right. You know, I couldn't find exactly where I wanted to put it, and it changed drastically from where I had it.
Really?
The chorus sat the same, but I couldn't get it what I was doing, like that one.
Right.
So after a while, I think I took the approach. I said, you know what, let's make it positive instead of something that's a little sad or heartbreak or something like that, which is usually the norm the way I write. So I said, let's make it something good. So that was basically the premise of the song, and it was just about getting whatever you want. You know what I mean? Just what is it that you got to have? Just go out and grab it, basically. You know, trying to keep it positive on that.
If someone actually told me go out and grab what you want, I'd be arrested.
I think we all would. I think we all would. But hey, it's subjective. It's personal. So whatever you want, grab it.
Your Honor, you have to understand, it was subjective. I decided to grab the blonde brunette and the redhead, and I left the brunette on the side because it just didn't work. So, and how could I get in trouble?
But did you get it?
Well, no, I really didn't, because my wife would kill me. Bad enough I keep mentioning Kelly Clarkson too much. She was going to kill me. And so is Tom Mealy at this point. I think he's sick of it. So you play how many instruments?
I guess the core four: drums, bass, guitar, and singing. Definitely my strongest instrument. I definitely go with the drums.
Nice.
But
We've got a picture of you with the drums playing.
I'd love to see that one.
Yeah.
So, I think I started all of this playing every instrument and trying to sing because in the attempt to start a band when I was younger and trying to get things going,
Yeah.
it's a very difficult field. You could put Jesus and Buddha in a band and they're going to fight. For some reason, something's just going to go miserably wrong with them. So I took it upon myself and I said, you know what, I'm gonna do this. There it is. That's that guy right there.
That's you playing the drums. That's
Oh yeah,
great.
that's him.
Great.
So, yeah, that's at that point I said, you know what, I'm just gonna figure out how to do this on my own. You know, never played a lick or whatever, and I just said, let's go for it, because I couldn't depend on anybody. So I said, the only person you really can depend on is yourself.
Right.
And the only person I could argue with is myself. So I started doing that. And along the way, I started working with some really, really phenomenal musicians as well, you know, just getting things sorted out with other people to bring it to another level.
Sure.
So that's how I started dabbling on everything, is because no one else was there to do it. But thankfully now I could say I have a group of great guys that I could work with and get things fully going. It's great.
You did one of our title tracks for something that we have still on the back burner, but we'll
Yeah,
get
yeah.
there. But they loved it, some of the producers who heard your new songs.
Thank you.
One of the things that always impressed me about you is you do work the clock. If I say, Jake, I need something by 4 o'clock, you got it there in my hands.
Yeah.
And you really do. You do jump hurdles to get it done. Let's slip over to Natalie for a quick second. And Natalie, here you are. Can you do me a big favor and jump into that camera and tell me what we're watching on TV right now?
You're watching the Long Island Filmmaker Show, starring Jerry Parisi, the only one.
Well, you do that so well. And you know what? You're a credit to Madhouse TV as well, a part of the Madhouse family now. But you do more than just announce, and you do more than just sit there and look beautiful. You actually dance. You're an Irish, I guess, river dance. Explain that.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Okay, what I do is traditional precision step clog dancing. And it actually came to our country 350 years ago from the Irish, the Welsh, and the Scottish.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So from that gave way to tap dancing, what we know now as tap dancing. But what I do is it's like the drum beat of river dance.
Right.
Very precision step. And I also do traditional freestyle, where I can get up and I can just put all the moves that I know into my own choreography.
Wow.
So it's a real aerobic workout. It's a
Oh,
lot
I
of
wouldn't
fun.
doubt.
It's a
Well, I
ton
could
of fun.
tell it's an aerobic workout right out of the gate, you know.
So yeah, I love it. My passion is dance. I've always loved to dance. I love music, and you know, bringing the two together is just amazing.
You know, I wanted to ask you, do you do that basically by yourself, or do you have a group of people you work with, or?
Yeah, there's a group I work with. It's the only group on Long Island that clog dances, and I've been
Really?
with them 14 years. But
You're only 15 years old.
I don't know. If you do the math, I don't know how it worked. But anyway, yes, I was 1 when I started.
Okay, good.
But I have gone out on my own. I instruct.
Oh, really?
I do private parties. I can teach people to clog dance in an hour. And
How many times you say I could do a dance at a private party and you get these other requests?
yeah, I have to preface it. I'm a clog dancer, Irish step, and I'm looking to take it into the future with my other passion, which is country line dancing. And the two of them are very closely aligned.
Is that
very
right?
Similar, because we dance, in clog dancing, it's bluegrass and country western, and some country pop. And you do the same thing to country line dancing. So it's really great.
So a little later on after our break, I'd love for you to give a demonstration. Do you think
Absolutely.
you can pull it? All right, that would be
I'd
good.
love to.
That'd be good. It's too bad you don't have a guitar. You could play something out with it. You
that
know?
would be great.
I'll hum behind it.
There you go.
You know, I met Jake in a very strange way. I used to own an agency called Ad Count Direct, and his sister happened to be looking for work. Jackie's phenomenal. And Jackie came in, everybody fell in love with her, and boom, she began working for Ad Count Direct. In that time period, she said, you know, Jerry, you got to see my mother, because she's going to do something to help your hair out. So I have to be proudly saying that Jake's mom, Cindy, has been doing my hair for the last probably, I want to say, since 2006.
It's a while.
2006, 2007.
A while.
Right. And I actually won't let anybody else touch it. In fact, if anybody ever got any of that, I would feel I was cheating. That's how bad it would be.
The Midas touch.
It is, and actually Cindy threw some highlights in this week.
I saw that.
You got to thank your mom
you on
for
that,
There you
Jerry.
go.
See, so you were meant to be here. This was all.
You were meant to be here.
It was lined up. It
Yes.
was lined up.
And
Absolutely.
both of
It was in the
you
stars.
have in common that you provide now some of the music, and as we keep moving along, the music finds its way into more and more tracks, which
Yeah.
is amazing. And you do our wonderful announcing. You're one of the main announcers. Of course, you and Violet or Violetta, she's one of the announcers. Greg Pacino comes on and does that announcing. And it's pretty interesting how the family is growing with the Long Island Film Group. I'll say this. We aren't just a film group. This show is meant to bring all the arts in.
Yeah.
Because first of all, anything can be filmed. We know that already. But we have on tap some incredible guests coming up. We have, like I said last week, we have a legal attorney who's a criminal attorney. Alan Schwartz is going to be coming on, and he's going to talk about the ramifications of when you do the wrong thing, like don't use permits or some of the other things. We'll have an intellectual property lawyer coming on. We have someone who is a head person, Crew Martin. And Crew's going to come on and tell everybody when you're in the film world what it's like when your best friends turn on you. And I don't say best friends on me. I'm lucky to have not had that happen. But I've watched film people lose good friends over deals.
Yeah.
And he'll explain what goes on in that mindset. Thank God I got all my best friends with me. That always stays and helps. But so this show, especially with the dancing on it, will be a little different than anything else. So right after we get cued for the commercial, I will know that you're going to be up and get ready to dance for us.
Woo.
In the meantime, what's the biggest crowds of people you ever danced for?
Well, we danced to an international dance festival in New York City. It was off Broadway. We also danced at the Javits Center, which was thousands of people.
Off Broadway, but
no big.
Few blocks.
But we
no
do
big.
a lot of festivals across Long Island.
Nice.
And we've done the Country Western Festival in Riverhead, countless, you name it, any kind of festival that has been, and we get, from 300 to 5,000 people watching us at any one time.
I have a question for you, Natalie. If someone were to go to YouTube, let's say, and pump in your name or put the name of your group in, would there be videos on your dancing?
Yes, you can find my name or Blue Spruce Cloggers, which is the name of the
Blue
group.
Spruce Cloggers. Let's get that.
Now on my Facebook page, there's also going to be, off of my Facebook page, you can see the videos on there. I have all my videos and pictures of my dancing.
They've got to friend you for that, or do you have an open page?
No, you have to friend me, Natalie Boyle. And from that, I'm going to have an offshoot of Natalie's Country Clogging. So it's going to be strictly just all information about clog dancing and how you can learn it and what you can do and the types of songs and dances we do.
That's pretty interesting. All right, we're going to go to a commercial right now, and we'll be back with Jake Russell and Natalie Boyle. And Natalie will be doing a little bit of a quick little step with us, and we'll be right back.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
That was amazing. I couldn't move like that if I tried. To save my life, I couldn't do that. That's an art in itself to be able to move like a little.
It's, like I said, very aerobic. And if there was a wooden floor,
Yeah.
you hear a lot of sound.
Sure, sure. You are wearing the right shoes, I know.
Yeah, we wear tap shoes,
Right,
like
right.
those I have on.
Yeah, but we at Madhouse have beautifully carpeted floors, so you don't really hear that. So tell me more about how many years have you done this?
I'm in my 14th year.
14 years.
And I had tap as a child. I did 7 years of tap when I was
see.
a child. So it kind of helps, as long as you have rhythm.
Yeah.
And, this is very, as you can see, when you're doing 4-minute dances for an hour, it's quite a workout.
Oh, I can imagine. It probably is incredible.
It's so much fun, though.
Yeah, the energy in a room must be.
The energy is awesome, yeah.
Wow. I remember seeing a commercial for something called River Dance, I believe.
Uh-huh.
Was that, it was, the Irish tap dancers had come in for only one certain amount of time, and they did it somewhere in the city, and I honestly forgot where, but I did remember being extremely impressed by the way they
Oh, it's
moved.
very impressive. And especially to see them, 40 dancers on stage doing the same thing at the same exact time, it's amazing. It's breathtaking.
It certainly is.
And
it is.
we take a lot of Michael Flatley, who was the star of Lord of the Dance and River Dance. We take a lot of his choreography. We kind of take some of his steps and make it our own.
Nice. Yeah. And how long have you been doing music, Jake?
I think seriously started doing music probably when I was around 17. So 7 years ago.
7?
Yeah, yeah.
I had a band when I was 12, and I ran into the same problems as you described them before.
Yeah.
I still see the old band, Joe Fuco. In fact, our Tommy Marr at this station knows Joe.
Yeah.
He told me. And I still see them every so often. The last time I went down to see it, I went down to the basement of the studio, and there was the Farfeses, and then there was the Earths, and there was the Plushes, Augie's drums, the Joey's play out an ES-345. It sounded like Volcano, that stereo guitar.
Yeah.
And good equipment never goes bad. But what do you use? What type of equipment? What's the names?
Well, it depends on what I'm tracking usually, because each individual song has an individual sound, so I try to capture it with a different instrument, You could always get away with using the same thing over and over, but if you want to give the song some character, let's say, I'll run around. And thankfully, I have a good library of friends where I could just go over there and say, hey, I need this, or I need some of this. I also have a lot of stuff myself. So, the standard stuff that you get, Gibson guitars, Fender guitars, all that stuff, and the details go in, literally, depending on whatever song, it depends on the guitar. Maybe I'll use a Telly for this song, or I'll use the V for the next song.
Sure.
So it all depends on what song is coming out and what tone I hear in my head. I try to capture that with a different sound,
Yeah, give it character, like you said.
Of course,
That's the best way to do it. It's, it's amazing. I still favor the Gibsons. I had one. It's one of the two things I ever regretted selling was my Gibson ES330 that I made into a stereo guitar.
That's a bad
way
idea.
back, and it was a 1957. They said it wasn't. It was a sunburst red, not a cherry red with the flakes in it. But of course, I wanted the cherry red, but they didn't have it. But I bought it anyway. I sold it for $195.
When was that?
It was probably back when I was in art and design high school, 1974. I graduated. So
It's worth a pretty penny now, man.
yeah, I was dumb. That and my original Mustang. I really never should have sold that.
We all do it. Everybody does.
Yeah,
that.
you sold an original Mustang?
I did. I did a couple years back.
That's
We
amazing.
have a lot in common.
We do. And his brother
brothers.
does my hair. Atmosphere, it's great.
Practically related.
Look at that. So I wanted to ask you about the type of music you like. Is there one genre, or do you really mix them together?
When I'm approaching my original music, I always try to, be a free spirit with it. You know what I mean? Not try to stay in one place because, like I said, music is very subjective. It's very personal. You know, when people hear it, they interpret it in a certain fashion. And for me, I don't necessarily like to stay in one spot and keep throwing that out at the same demographic of people. I try to spread it across and let everybody hear it. So I think the best way to do that is by being, an eclectic artist. Like, that's what I try to capture is everything for every type of person, not just one group. I think that's the best bet, to try to capture everybody.
What about you, Natalie? What type of music do you like? I guess the country western and all of that, or what?
I am very fond of, especially today's country western, but I like some of the older stuff too. But I like classic rock and I like pop music, and even back in the disco days, I like that kind of music.
Well, why do I only like new music?
You know what it is though? It just moves me, and when I when I hear music, I want to listen. I move to it. I just want to dance.
You know what? I in all sincerity, I'm going to not lie here. I actually do like some older music. I do like the Beatles very much.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm a
love
huge
the
Beatles fan.
And so is your mom.
Of course.
When we're at Atmosphere, the Beatles are always on.
That's the thing.
There you go. But I don't like much older than that, and I only like select things through it.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to watch what I say because Tommy Mark has a good throw, and he might hit me with the older music. But what was I going to say? I like the newer music. I like the new beats, and I find that the old music, if I characterize it, it beats around the bush.
How do you mean?
Let me explain.
Please.
For example, you listen to some of the old music, like Strangers in the Night, Exchanging Glance. Okay, what happened that night? They never got to it.
You never tell the story.
Except, like, you listen to Pink, hey, baby, it's you and your hand tonight. So that, to me, says more. I know what's going to happen in that song.
Of course.
There you go. We got through the song. I know what happened to the guy. Now I don't need to have an imagination. Next, please.
But if it wasn't for Strangers in the Night, you never would have got to
But is
know
that the
about the
way you
hand.
write? Is what he like?
Like that? Oh boy, I don't know. That's offensive sometimes.
Well, that's what Pink's. That's what that song is about.
So you're
Very
a Pink
angry.
fan.
Very
But
angry.
I do like the young. I love Britney Spears. I've always liked Britney. I love Kelly, and they're going to hit me for that one again. I'm going to get a
Kelly
Kelly.
Clarkson's very talented.
Yeah, well, I proposed to her on the radio, and they're going to put up a jar like they do on Shake It Up when they do curses. They throw money in the jar. With me, there's going to be a Kelly jar. Tom Mealy's going to come walking around. Give me $1.
Every
$1.
time you mention
Every time I mention Kelly Clarkson's name, I'm going to be poor by the end of this run.
You have to add several to the till tonight, actually.
Oh, easy. And I like Ariana Grande and some of the.
Yeah, she's great.
I really
Very
do
She's very
like
good.
new work.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one more thing. Strangely, I like when girls sing more than guys.
Yeah?
I can't see why. Like, I love your music. Okay, you've got some great stuff.
Thank you.
Contemporary, it's right there. It goes right to me. But I prefer, for some strange reason, a girl singing.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Is what it is.
It's personal. Again.
It's
It
a
is.
personal thing, you know?
Right.
And what about you? Who do you like? Guys, girls, or
It depends.
On the song?
I like both male and female singers.
who are your favorites?
I like Kelly Clarkson a lot.
Oh!
I like Carrie.
Not a dollar.
That's another $1.
Not a dollar.
Carrie Underwood.
I like Carrie
I like
Underwood a
Blake
lot.
Shelton, Luke Bryan. Those are my country people.
Okay.
But I love the Beatles. I love classic rock.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
Those are good. Now, what about you, Jake? Where do you draw from? Who do you consider your favorites?
I don't want to pull the lame excuse. Oh, I try to pull from everybody, but I am a huge Zeppelin head. I think everybody knows it about me. All it is Zeppelin,
Oh,
Zeppelin,
who
Zeppelin,
doesn't like
Zeppelin.
Zeppelin, though?
Yeah, but I really do favor older music than I do new. You know, a lot of it, what I listen to, is much older than today. You know, but again, I try to bounce around and see what's going on now.
Yeah, you have to keep
Of
up.
course,
You
especially as a writer, you have to hear
Absolutely
what's
correct.
going on now
You know.
to compete with it. You know, and to also to draw from that. You can't just pick one vein, but
You have to really be current with music if you're gonna be not a dinosaur. Put it that way.
of course.
And nothing against the people who like one type. All kidding aside, but see, I come from the world of advertising, and in that world, on Madison Avenue, at the agencies I work for, you learn one thing: you destroy the old, you rebuild it, you rebrand it, you sell it, you keep it out there, you start fresh again and again and again.
Constantly moving and constantly
moving.
changing.
Right. Evolving.
I want to just point out that if a camera was out there in the studio, Tommy Marr was going like this when he said Led Zeppelin. So I want to thank you both, Jake.
Thank you so
Russell,
much.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Natalie, for all the work that you do. And I'm so proud that you guys are actually part of the Long Island filmmakers family here at Madhouse
Of course.
TV. And I have to say this, I could never do it without all the team that works us, you know, from you guys and Madhouse and everything else. And so this has been the Long Island Filmmakers Show. I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. We look forward to seeing you next week. And by the way, coming to cable this October on Channel 20. This is one of the select shows that will be on the air in the 3 different regions of Brookhaven and Woodbury and Riverhead, Hampton. So you'll be able to see us on Channel 20 as well.
Very cool.
And that'll be this
Yeah,
episode
that's
as
great.
well. Yep. So from me, Jerry Parisi, I thank you for joining in tonight with the Long Island Filmmakers. Jake Russell, Natalie Boyle. I feel like
Thanks so much.
I feel like we should mention Cindy at Atmosphere for my hair all the time, so we'll do it. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care. God bless. Have a great night.
You act like you don't wanna listen when I'm talking to you. You think you ought to do, baby, anything you wanna do. You gotta be crazy, baby. Just gotta be.